Hey, what's up guys? Great here. Today we're going to try and do a video with my cat Sebastian. He does not seem very happy about it. Oh, oh. Say hello. Say hello, Sebastian. Anyways, today we're going to talk about the new fusion, Krodor. So, let's just hop right into it, okay? Damage based off of defense, kind of big, very similar to Gon in that aspect. He's a defender, got that 3 block. Want to throw, artifacts on him that increase it? Of course. Now, this video is going to be specific to his skills, artifacts, no, not artifacts, awakenings, and yeah, stats, things like that. But anyways, let's get started. Basic attack is basic. We can skip it, save your time. His talent, damage scales off of defense, like I just mentioned. Increases defense by 2% for 20 seconds each time taking damage, capping at 20% of his defense. So if he takes 10 hits of damage right away, he'll have 20 seconds of 20% increased defense. Now, he has some interesting skills. You could tell that he's all about just keeping enemies back, because his ultimate skill, it increases his block by 2 and his defense by 70%. So he does, scale off of defense in terms of damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how much damage this guy actually can do, given that he gets almost double the defense during his ultimate. And that actually increases to 85% and then 100%. So he actually does get double of his defense. So he's got this skill, or it's a passive, that once his HP drops below a certain threshold, which is 30%, he'll enter the state of anger and bellows, as they say it, up to 10 enemies ahead, and inflicts attack reduction on them, which is pretty nice, especially when he's, specific to survival and enemies are dealing much less damage. Then his next 5 basic attacks change into striking at most 10 enemies ahead. So he gets pissed off. This guy rages, right? Dealing 150% AoE damage. Keep in mind this scales off of his defense and inflicts stun. So you throw this guy out front. He's taking a lot of damage. I kind of see this being big for GVG, Guild versus Guild, because they're going to send out demons. He's going to keep getting hurt. He's going to get pretty low. Hopefully not die, and then he's gonna start stunning. He's gonna start doing all sorts of CC, and then he's gonna even damage the enemies in front of him. Now, I suspect, you see here, this effect can only be triggered 1 time per deployment, so you gotta hope that you keep him around in terms of GVG. Like, you gotta get his health back up after it drops below 30%. But that's kind of hard to do because, you don't control your guys specifically. He's got this last passive, Unity Strength is its name, and based on the number of adjacent allies, it increases his piercing damage reduction and damage dealt. So the effect reaches a maximum of 12% when there are 3 allies in range, so 4% per ally, to which then this increases up to 24%. So rather than 4% per ally, it's 8% per ally. So he does better in numbers. Pretty interesting. You see, he's specifically control and damage reduction. I don't know why it's damage reduction. I know he does do that, extra attack reduction, which is nice, but at the same time, it's not, his main use case. The nice thing about the attack reduction, though, and him being a defense-specific scaling unit, is that if the enemy's attack is below your defense, then they deal abysmal damage. It's kind of like when you're fighting the enemies, and if your attack's below their defense, you're going to notice that your damage is not very well. No matter what your crit damage is, your damage is not going to do very well. So let's continue on. His details, he has fairly decent HP. I wish it was higher. If we check out, I know Mr. What's his face? Mr. Regulus has pretty high base HP. Okay, so he has high base HP. That's very nice to see. He's up there along the others that are very tanky. And then in terms of his defense, it's decent as well. So about 4,000 defense. That one, you're probably going to want to get it to about 12 to 15,000. And then with that extra 100% increase on his defense, he gets a ridiculous amount of defense. So you better hope that people, you know, or if you're going up against him, that you damage him enough. Now his awakenings, Awakening 1, I don't know how exactly we're going to get awakenings on him besides using actual hero, like legendary hero soulstones, because he's a fusion. And so we get one of him, but then I don't know if he's being added to the pool afterwards or what exactly is happening. But on that note, we could talk about his awakenings anyways. When he gains a shield, so being a northerner faction, if you use someone such as King Hars who throws up a shield, this guy will gain like better shield. You know, as it says here, shield strength increases by 20%. Awakening 2, very good Awakening 2. Thank you. A base defense increase. This is actually good. I mean, I'm not joking. So this does help him a lot. It brings him up to 4,000. That is base defense, not, you know, additional defense that's added on top of the base 3,800. Awakening 3, this passive where he does all this extra stuff, it restores an additional rage of 50. So every basic attack, which means he gets another 250 rage on his rage regen meter. You know, I've never heard them call it rage and just rage. But yeah, a nice thing there. So Awakening 4, pretty big. All damage reductions plus 8%. That's very nice. I don't know if I've seen a plus 8% all damage reductions, but if I have, you know, you can correct me. Well, I guess you wouldn't know if I have, but you would know if it existed. Awakening 5, that same exact passive that has all of this extra stuff. The State of Anger has a cooldown time of 60 seconds. Whoa! See, now that is huge. Because normally, he cannot do all of this extra stuff anytime he's deployed. Like, this only happens one time. But Awakening 5 allows it to happen more than once at any moment, so long as a 60-second cooldown has gone by. Now, 60 seconds is a long time. You know, by the time you bring this guy down to less than 30% health in like Guild War, you're going to see that the time is going to be minute 30. So he's probably going to die prior to this 60-second cooldown time being hit. This may only be beneficial as seen in PvE, maybe Grade 1, but other than that, I can't think of it. Maybe even Void Rift. Void Rift could be good. A lot of CC. You know, the stage I'm thinking of is with Mr. Tentacle Man and him changing all the skeletons so that there's duplicate ones. Maybe he can help out there in that bottom lane, taking out 6 skeletons at once and then some other guys as well. But yeah, guys, this guy's pretty interesting. I'm gonna do a further deep dive on him in terms of like what gear I would suggest. But other than that, cost is fairly high, and I hope he's good. You know, everyone hopefully gets him and experiences joy using him. I know it'll be interesting. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please let me know, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Peace out.